Ready to go?
Ready?
Am I good here?
Oh, is it? And also with you.
Almighty God, we give you thanks for the many blessings in this life. We give you special thanks for the work and the ministry and the mission of the Chapel of St. Andrew. Help us to be ever mindful of the needs of those that we serve. Help us to give thanks for this luncheon and for the hands that help prepare for that. We ask you to guide us and direct us and govern us as we go into 2026 and all the work in the outreach that you have in mind for us to accomplish. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Welcome everyone to the annual meeting for 2020. This is the result of 2025 and our annual meeting of 2026. And so we give you thanks. As we give thanks, we want to reflect back on a little bit of which as you'll see over here, we have the various outreach missions that we provided for throughout the year. You're going to hear a little bit about our strategic plan and how successful it's been so far and what it's done. So we give we'll have look forward to those reports. I just want to say one thing. For my ministry throughout my life has been transitional ministry. I've worked with churches in transition. From the time I was a layperson, I was a senior warden for two clergy changes at St. Benedict's. I went away to seminary, and while I was at seminary, I took over a small parish that I was interning in because the rector left. When I came out, I went to Holy Trinity. I was at Holy Trinity as an associate. Within a year and a half, unfortunately, the rector had to leave. And I took on. So then I went to work for the bishop for over almost 11 years as helping in transitions for all small, medium-sized churches, large churches, medium-sized churches, small churches throughout the diocese that were in some form of transition, right? Some amount of change. You know, one of the things I realized, every church is in the midst of some sort of change, right? We changed from Father Charles to now, from Father Steve to Father Charles. There's all these transitions that always happen within the life of the church. In my work with those churches, I've never been so proud of a church as this one. The work and the effort, the strategic planning. All churches have a plan. Survive till next week, right? Oh my God, the budget's down. Well, Christmas is coming. Oh my God, the budget's down. Easter's coming, right? So all churches have a plan. No plan is a plan. Even no plan is a plan. Here, this church has been aggressive in understanding what the needs and the gifts of the people of the Chapel of St. Andrew are. Right? What are those gifts, and how do we accentuate and work with those particular gifts that we've been given? The strategic planning here has been phenomenal. I'm just part of the group. Just like you. I'm proud of you. For all of you have contributed to that plan by your gifts, financial gifts, by your physical support, and all those aspects have made this all possible. So if somebody says, well, where do you go to church? You make sure and tell them, I go to the Chapel of St. Andrew. Chapel of St. Andrew, we're doing what God has called us to do there. So you should be proud of yourselves and proud to introduce anyone that you know to the work that's being done here. And so, that said, I applaud you. The people of the mission, the mission-minded people that are here at the chapel.
And we applaud you also.
Thank you. Now, when people are working the job easy, right? When you're doing some transitional stuff, and the people are doing the work, it looks easy, right? It makes it easy. It makes it easy for me. So I give thanks for all of you. So now. The next is, that was the welcome and blessing.
Strategic plan.
Now the strategic plan, Bob.
Right behind you.
Bob's right behind me. Bob, there you go, Bob.
Two Bobs. Two Bobs right behind you.
All
Does this look like Mount Jeff?
all of the leadership of the strategic planning group has been great. Bob has been particularly great in his direction, because you know what, you've got a lot of powerful, willed people, right? I didn't mean will, right? But people who are actively involved. That's not an easy group to maneuver. Bob, you did a great job. So we give you that.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. So, as I hope you all know, late last spring, we published a strategic plan for the chapel. This is a plan that looks 5 years into the future and envisions a congregation that is described up here. A multi-generational congregation. By that we mean, among other things, a congregation that has a lot more younger families in it than we have right now. But we also are working towards a congregation of the future that is just as committed to outreach, pastoral care, and healing as this congregation is today. We talk about putting things in place so that the congregation of tomorrow will be, I think we said, self-renewing. And what we mean by that is that it's a congregation that is continually raising up new members to be servants in the various ministries that we are committed to, and also raising up constantly new leadership. And finally, we want a congregation that is open to new possibilities in a never-changing world. So we put together an awful lot of initiatives that fall really into 5 baskets. And the first basket is that of outreach. And 2025, I think, has been a banner year for outreach. In that, we welcomed in a lot of new members into some of our ministries, and also extended ministries to new and services to new communities outside. And with Will Cheryl and Mara Lee, and also with Meg's help, we did an awful lot, and we tried very hard to make sure you, the congregation, understands the range of outreach ministries that we have and the impact that we are making. And at the same time, have really tried to make sure people outside this congregation are aware of what we're doing. Now, the second area of strategic initiatives, we want under worship. Now, most of you know that at Christmas time, our Christmas services generally bring in or draw 150 or more people, most of whom are not members of this congregation. And so this past year, the worship team, led by Faye and Emily Nell and Jan and Father Tom, tailored our Christmas service largely to that constituency. And I think, and a lot of them said, that what we delivered was a Christmas service that was very meaningful and beautiful, just as it always has been. Another area in which we're working very hard is that of communications, because in fact, if we want to attract younger families, we need to be able to communicate with and reach people in neighboring communities who might very well be looking for a worship experience, a faith experience, such as we can offer here. And to do that, we, under Meg's leadership, have contracted with a company that specializes in helping churches grow their congregations. And one of the initiatives has been to really realize a new social media outreach. And proof for the potential is the fact that between November and now, we've actually reached some 10,000 people within 10 miles of this church in our communications, right? And that's just the start. And so this is an area that we will be continuing to stress. So the fourth area is the area of relationship with the school, the St. Andrews School. And at times, I think it's probably been very, very strong. And at times, perhaps it wasn't as strong as it could be. But with Bob Pickup's leadership, we've done a really good job of reinvigorating the relationship with the school, starting with Mr. Shapiro at the top, but throughout the administration and also the staff. And we're looking for areas of mutual interest where we can work together. And finally, to make this all possible, we've retailored, again with Bob Pickup's leadership, retailored our 5-year financial plan to support the initiatives that we've undertaken through the strategic plan. And it's important to note, I think, that that financial plan is first ambitious, and secondly, conservative. How do those go together? In a few minutes, Bob is going to tell you. All right, so those are sort of the highlights. I'm just trying to give a sense of the scope of what we're about and why. And now to give you more of the details, we're going to start with outreach with Will and Cheryl.
Thanks, Bob.
Where do you want? He's going to be. I was going that way and you were going this way. I'll just stand over here.
Thanks, Bob. Well, we want to talk about outreach. If you look at the screen while you're eating, there's probably 15 ministries that we do in outreach. We're going to touch on a couple of them today, but just a few preliminary things. The chapel is all about outreach. And I went to my Bible to find out what outreach is. And I didn't really read it, Mom. I used AI.
Brother Steve calls that Bob.
I think AI is spot on here. AI says it's loving thy neighbor, caring for the vulnerable, and acting out of compassion. That's spot on. Last year, your money that you gave to the chapel, $17,000 of it went to outreach programs. This year, with your pledges made, $24,000 will go towards outreach. Let's just talk about a couple of them. Like I said, I'm going to talk about filters first, and Cheryl's going to talk about a couple more. We have a filter program that we introduced in Madagascar, where for $50 a filter, we install this small little filter in a Malagasy's home. And I've been there personally, so I can attest to this. They think it's a miracle. The look on their faces when they see this dark black water come out crystal clear, they just think it's a miracle. It's life-changing to them. When you talk to people in the neighborhood, you have to get it translated, of course. They tell stories about, my kids aren't getting sick anymore. I'm not getting sick anymore. So this ministry has really been great. We have 100 filters over there now, and your vestry has approved 100 more for this year. And the program is monitored every quarter to make sure the filters are working right. It's spot on. We're doing good here. Everybody should feel good about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to convey that your dollars don't just go to support people overseas. We also have, you are also supporting people in our backyards. For instance, Holy Grail, which went yesterday, it's down at St. Nicholas, and also Feed for the Hungry, Feed the Hungry, which is a food pantry here in Palm Beach County. And if you were here a few weeks ago, Dan Shorter came and talked to us about all the wonderful things that they do. And that's because of you. You make this happen with your dollars. Also, we have a new outreach, which is and we don't really call it an outreach necessarily, but it's called Baby Boomers. And the first Wednesday of every month and the third Wednesday of every month, we get together for a wonderful lunch, and also we play games. So we have trivia. Bob and I have done bingo. I did Wheel of Fortune last week. And so it's just a lot of fun. And it's right here in the Harmon Building. It's at 12:30, as I said, the first and third Wednesday of each month. And if you want to know more about any of this, you can see Will and myself or Marilee. We're the committee for the outreach. And also the annual report, which was printed out, I think there was some printed out, details all these outreach ministries that you support. And I just want to say thank you. I mean, it's just wonderful. So give ourselves, all of us, an applause.
Cheryl, I think that Nancy, you're going to release it, put the annual report on the weekly blast, right?
Oh,
I'll
okay.
put everything you want me to put.
Yes.
And I didn't come up for travel purse today because I went up for healing because John fell in the parking lot this morning.
Oh.
So he took the car home, and he's okay. He's okay. But thank you.
So there are a few copies. If someone really wants a hard copy, we've got a few here also.
And I wanted to jump in before I start on the communication, and we put in a little information about the wedding ministry, which Nancy has been heading up for 15 years. And in that amount of time, they have raised almost $100,000 for this church.
We'll hit 100,000 this year.
So last year, in 2025, the wedding ministry brought in over $11,000. So that is a huge impact, and I wanted to make sure that we
Oh, and now I remember why I didn't come up for travel purse. It looked like it was going to be horrible traveling when my husband has fallen, but I am taking my daughter for her birthday to Napa a week from Monday,
Oh, my
and so I leave on Saturday. I'm putting everybody on speed dial so that John can reach any of our friends while I'm gone.
And I put up in my search last night while we were talking, I found online, this is just a couple of reviews, but I know everybody knows that Nancy does so much around here, but so much of what she does, we don't even know. But this ministry, the wedding ministry, the word online is phenomenal. 5 stars, 5 out of 5. And one of the reviews I read was, if we could rate the experience we had at the Chapel of St. Andrew, a 10-star rating would certainly be appropriate.
Wow.
And mostly it was Nancy McCurchie, wedding coordinator extraordinaire, that sealed the deal. She was a real pro. These are all different people. Miss Nancy is an angel. Words cannot express our gratitude. Nancy was very understanding and helped a stressed bride out with making sure things ran smoothly. And when I searched, my search on AI was wedding reviews at the Chapel of St. Andrew. And what came up was, it said, Nancy receives exceptional praise for being accommodating, organized, and helpful, making the planning process smooth and reducing stress. That was its condensed version of all of our reviews. So Nancy, you have made that ministry happen. It's a lot of work. She's here on the weekends, she's here on the nights, and we don't see it, but we thank you.
Thank you.
On top of all the other things you do, that is a huge contribution. Okay, so for the marketing, we're utilizing some new methods that we haven't done in the past. So these are some of the new methods: Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads. We've put in articles in the local Boca Tribune about the baby boomer lunches. That was actually really well received. They put a whole article online. And then showing our church presence at school and community functions through, the biggest thing has been the shirts. So the shirts that Will was wearing, we've worn them to the Holy Grail. We had people coming up to us saying, where is that? What is that church? Oh, it was a huge conversation starter. The shirts have been incredible. So we're wearing them to the function. I think we're doing the 5K next week. Are we wearing our shirts there? That's what the school is sponsoring, a 5K. Will and Cheryl got us sandwich boards that are advertising. We bring those to all of our events. So we're really getting the word out about who we are and where we are, since we're so hard to find. Nobody knows we're here. But we're changing that. We are changing that. So we also, as they were talking about, Bob was alluding to, we have partnered with a company called Church Fuel. And that was brought to us by Will, actually. Will's nephew, right? It was your nephew. Had used it at his church, and he suggested it. And the more I learned about it, I was like, this is fantastic. It is very comprehensive. For what we pay for it, what they are offering us is amazing. It is like having 40 full-time marketing people working for you. And I mean that. Every time I have needed something, they have coaching available for branding, your website design, your online presence. They do ads. They will make ads for us. They will do so much. It's so comprehensive. I can't even get into it. I'm going to give you guys about this much, but I'll give you a little more later. But it is extraordinary, and we are just starting. They have finished all of the onboarding, which took about since August. We've been working on it months. And the reason for that is they have to have access to all of our social media pages and to be able to get into our Google business and start doing all of this for us. But basically what it is, it's a 3-tier system they have, and it's automatic. That's the beauty, is we don't have to do it. It just has to be supervised, and our job is the follow through, and I'll explain that in a second. But they have an automatic invite system where online, everybody's been online and you see an ad pop up in the corner of the page in your Yahoo Mail. Our ads will be popping up there, but they will be popping up to people in Boca. They will be popping up to people who've searched for a church. They will be popping up for people who have searched, who is Jesus? What is anything that is related to religion? They know this online. I don't know how to do this, but they do. So luckily, it's already reaching people who are already looking. So then it sends them an invitation. Would you like to come join us at church on Sunday? Through Facebook, through Instagram, through Google searches. We show up first. If someone clicks and says, I'm interested, it will send us as a team, which I'm going to get to that later because I'm going to be asking for some help, like a lead, basically. This person is interested in your church. And then that will prompt us to either send a text message or a phone call to that person and say, hi, do you want to come? I'll meet you there on Sunday. They have found that if you can connect with people, coming somewhere new is hard. If they come knowing that, hey, I spoke to Cheryl on Tuesday and she said she'd meet me at church. And on Sunday, when that person comes to church, Cheryl says, hey, we spoke. It makes it a lot easier, and you just start to develop a connection, because strangers are scary, even though we're not scary. We're really nice people. But it can be hard to get a connection during a church service. So this allows for that, and it's all automated. Once that person puts in their information, it gives us the information, and then it tracks what happened. Did they come? Did they not come? If they came, did they like it? It'll send them a follow-up and say, hey, did you enjoy the service? Was there something you didn't enjoy? Can you help us out? They do it so well. Every time they ask questions that are hard for us to ask. But they do it in a way that doesn't make people feel like they're harassing me or tracking me down. And it is completely automated. So this is just some of the stuff. They're creating. They went to our website, looked at our website, and they have mimicked landing pages. So if people are searching for the Boomer Luncheon, there's going to be a page. If they're searching for a wedding, There's going to be another page. We can put up anything we want. We have a healing conference. We let them know what it is. They're going to make us a page and put it on there. So we will have an online presence instead of 4 or 5 links. It could be 500. It's as much as we want. The search ads, like I said, the Google ad grant, they helped us do this. This is really hard, but Google for Nonprofits offers, if you apply, $120,000 a year in free advertising. We got it. So we are going to have that every year. So they helped us get that, and that has been approved. So I went through the ads and invite program and then the automated plan. I think I hit everything. Oh, and the coaching. The coaching with them, if we have a problem or a desire to do something different, they have someone who I can email and say, hey, let's set up a call. And they will sit and look at it and say, let's help you out, let's figure this out. From everything you could ever imagine that has to do with marketing. It's really incredible. That's available 4 days a week. And every week since August, I've attended, they do a weekly workshop for an hour that they go through all of this stuff. And a lot of the stuff that I have done on my own is because of that. I've learned stuff from them, and I started it because we couldn't get into the system yet, so I started doing it on my own. And since, in the last 3 months, since we started putting ads up, we had 816 new visitors to our website. And that was up 67% from the prior 90 days.
Wow.
So 9 of those people filled out cards for us to contact them, and Nancy is amazing and she contacted all of them. But that was what Bob was saying. We've reached through Facebook ads alone, and that is just me going on and putting on a couple ads every once in a while. We've reached 10,000 people that live within 10 miles of the chapel. And that's really great, considering that most people, when I tell them where they go to church, they say, where? So they're learning. It's going to get the word out. And once they start doing our ads, the way that they run our ads, they run them 365 days a year. So right now I've probably run 10, 15. They run them every single day. So those numbers are going to go very, very, very high. And it's a numbers game. There's people out there looking for church. There are people that will fit.
Have they suggested if our viewership on the website is up that much, is our website lacking something that they're looking for?
It's funny. It's actually perfect because they said about 10%. That's kind of the, if you can get 10% of people, or even I'm trying to remember if they said 10 or 1. Sorry, it's been a long week. It might be 1%. If 1% of the people if 1% of the people that see your stuff acts on it. But that's where, like, if I'm putting 10 or 15 ads, we've already reached 10,000 people, which is a good amount of people. If they're doing it 365 days out of the year, I can't even imagine. But I am on calls with hundreds of churches when I do these, it's whoever signs up that day. But I have seen through every week that I'm doing it, different people. It's not the same people every week, but except me, because I want to learn about what I'm doing. But it's hundreds of different churches I have spoken to people representing, and the success stories that they're saying are incredible. Is that people are looking for a church. They just don't know how to get there. So it's been really, really great. So the next step for me, we did all the onboarding, we got everything ready, we are ready. So the next phase is, if you are interested, and all it requires, we have a schedule up at the for serving on the altar, once a month, once a quarter, whenever, if you are open to making a phone call or a text to a newcomer to the church and would be willing to be that person where that week you say, I'll make the phone call or the text, and then that Sunday I will be at church that Sunday unless something happens. But that is what I need. That's it. It's basically being that first contact person from our church to say hello and welcome someone and then be there that Sunday when they show up. And that is what I would love to get, is a team of people that we could get a schedule going where I know that this week it's Cheryl. Or this week it's going to be, so if I get a lead, or I can forward it to who needs to kind of take off and say hello and be the greeter. So if you guys are interested, I didn't do it.
We have a committee, because when I sign an email like that, someone has come on, they've filled out a contact form, or they've come to the church once, and I thank them for, worshiping with us. I sign it, Ministry of Welcome. So if you would like to be part of the Ministry of Welcome, this is what we are
Please let us
needing.
know. I'll put a piece of paper back there. If you are interested, I would just your name, phone number, and email address, and I will get in touch with everybody. And we'll figure out a schedule. And literally, it could be as much or as little as you're available to do. Yeah.
I just want to say, this is an incredible thing that Megan's done. And for it to be successful, we all need to step forward in some way. It may not be that you are the first person, and say, come sit with me. It may be that you would like to send out little notes. Whatever. We need all of us. I mean, if we really care about growing our community, about being open and inviting, then each of us sort of needs to look in our hearts and figure out, what can I do? Not to feel like I'm coerced.
No.
But what is my gift? What can I offer freely and openly and graciously to help support this? All right? And each of us will be different. All right? And it takes the whole community to make that happen.
Absolutely. We all have strengths, and that's something I want to make sure, because if you're not comfortable with new people or you're shy, this probably isn't for you. But I will also be asking if anyone's interested in helping out with childcare, because we're going to try that. If we're getting new families into the church, I also need people who can say, I can be there that Sunday in case we have a child who needs to come to the Sunday school room. We got the Sunday school room ready months ago.
The nursery.
The nursery.
And we have
Right.
a Sunday school room too.
Yes, but I'm going to be asking for that as well. If that's something you think you might be able to do, and we'll develop a schedule, because we want to be available. If people show up with young kids but we don't have anywhere to put them, that's a problem. So
Abraham, you're good with kids.
and again, it would not be every Sunday, and maybe you'll volunteer, and that day nobody will show up as a child. But I want to have it already in place so that we have a system, and I think that would be really good. So that's
What you need from the group in terms of content to keep new messages going out.
So with what we've been doing with all of the different ministries, it helps. The more information you can give me, because if you guys are doing a program I'm not familiar with, Will helped me immensely with putting together this slideshow, because there's a lot of things I don't know either about putting this together. But anything, if there's something you want to publicize, if there's something you want to get out there, if we're doing an event,
And there's
They'll be
things
out
that
there.
we're probably already doing that we don't view in that way or promote in that way.
Right.
That we could.
Yes,
And that gives you more hits if,
absolutely, because they can make a page, they can make a landing page for it. So there's a million opportunities. It's really, the sky is the limit with this. So I appreciate it. I went over time. Sorry, Anna.
thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Very, very.
As Emily Nell said, Meg has done some stellar work. So let's give her. The funny thing is, over the course of the years, my involvement from afar with the Chapel of St. Andrew has always been the same, right? Back when Steve, I was very friendly with Steve Zimmerman. When Steve was here, Steve would say the same thing. You know, there's two philosophies, right? We're on the campus of St. Andrew's School, whose idea it is to keep everyone separate, right? Keep the public out, keep the kids safe. And here we are as a church, wanting to bring people, wanting to bring people in. These two dynamics. This is really a means of digitally handling that situation, right? Because as much as we can reach the surrounding community for them to know what it is that we're all about, and that's our biggest secret, because we are doing more in this church than a lot of our sister churches are doing that are larger. So we have a lot to be proud of here. So thanks for Meg for helping us to find a way to express that.
Thanks for all of you guys. You guys have supported it, and I appreciate it.
And so I think now, Emily, now you're gonna do this presentation on worship and healing.
It's gonna be, basically, I think all of you know, or if you don't know, Faye and I and Barbara Meehan will go to people's homes if they're not here and bring communion and visit. And if someone wants to be part of that team, we would be thrilled and delighted to train you. All right, so that is one of the ongoing things that we do in this community is visit members of our community who may be sick or not able to come to service and would like a visit. We will be having our healing conference on March 21st, and Father Steve is going to be our speaker. You'll be hearing more about that real soon. All right, and so this is something that we hope to be doing every other year, is having a healing conference. But we'll be getting out flyers soon so that we can spread the word and it looks to be a wonderful time. Okay, so I think that's all I want to say about it.
Today we miss Faye today, right? Yeah. We're missing Faye. Faye is when Faye tells you she's a little bit weak, she must really be weak, because I've seen her week after week after. Kind of struggling, right? So she is one of our great servants, a great deacon, probably the best deacon I know in the Diocese of Southeast Florida.
That's why she's the archdeacon.
She's an archdeacon. So we give thanks to her, but Faye is diligent on. Faye knows more about you than I do. She's my source. Faye, tell me about Barbara Meehan. Tell me what's going on with Barbara. Tell me what's going on with Marilyn. Tell me, she's tapped into all of you, right? For all of these years. So we talk about worship and worship and healing. We have a great resource in Faye. We give thanks for her. The other aspect about worship, if I can add on, is the work that we did for the Christmas service. The Christmas service this year, we had a number of people come together and say, "Look, here's what we want to do. We want to appeal to some younger people that aren't always here, right?" And so those kind of actions are ongoing. There's this facility to actually monitor and kind of direct that work. If you've got ideas, if you've got thoughts and things, give them to Emily Nell or Faye or Barbara or someone working that kind of thing, because we're open to that. So we give thanks for that special thanks today for Faye. None of it would be. And now we're going to hear from Bob Pickup on finance and stewardship. Finance.
And just a little bit more than that. Would you back that up one? Just back it up. If you can.
Hold on.
That's good. Oops.
Nope.
Oops,
Which one did
great.
you want to be on first? These were the order that I was given.
First one before that.
This was the first one that was on there, so
The
that's
one before that.
that one.
No, before it.
It's,
That's the one after it.
I know, but that's my first one.
Okay. All right. We'll
First
go with
one
that. I wanted to make a couple of observations before I got into the financials. And the first thing is that when we started last spring on the strategic plan, there were 9 or 10 of us that were a part of that plan. And we were all here before, and most of us, other than Monty, had been here and Early had been here for a long time. But when we came together and developed the strategic plan, the dynamics and the energy that was generated, the total effort that you're now seeing is far greater than the sum of those parts. And that was because we worked together and we developed this plan. The other thing that I want to absolutely mention is the inspiration that I get every Sunday from the homilies from Father Tom. He is tremendous. He was tremendous on the strategic planning team. And I took a lot out of the message today, and that is, what's the task? My task today is to do actually three things. To tell you about how we did last year, to tell you about how we're budgeted to do this year, and then to give you some comfort. For the 4 or 5 years after Father Charles was called away to Hawaii, and before Father Tom came to us, we used supply priests Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. What that allowed us to do was to meet new ministers and enjoy their messages, but we also were able to accumulate a fair amount of money because we weren't paying the diocesan spectrum of salary and benefits that a full-time pastor requires. And the way I've set up this schedule, and I hope you can see it from where you are, is I put the 2025 actual numbers to the right and the 2026 budgeted numbers to the left, category by category, so you can see the comparison. Two numbers that I want you to remember, because I know there's a lot of numbers, are the total income figure on the left for the 2026 budget is $240,000. The total figure on the right is $186,000. And that's the total amount of money that we took in those 2 years. And then I've broken it down so you can see where those funds came from. The first column down, the unrestricted. In 2025, there were plate receipts of $14,000. I budgeted $12,000 this year, conservatively. We do well when there's a baptism or when there's a wedding. The family comes the next day, or the family comes to attend the baptism, and plate collections for that day are good. The pledge receipts are the key figures in this analysis. $138,000 in 2025 and $194,000 in 2026. This came about because of the donation, the matching gift this year of the donor that pledged that they would give $2 for every dollar that every existing pledging congregate increased their pledge in 2026, and every new pledger pledged in 2026. The sum total of that matching gift is a little bit more than $40,000. The amount of the increases by the congregants and the new pledgers was $20,000. But if you take that $60,000 and you deduct it from that 194, you get $134,000. Without that gift, without that matching gift, we'd be exactly where we were this year. So we want to make absolutely the best use that we can of this tremendous jump start we've gotten into what is really the first year of the 5-year strategic plan. Okay, now we can go on to, and I will be here for anybody who really wants to get down into the weeds, and I'll go through it with you number by number, but I don't want to have your eyes glaze over. Okay, now here are the expenses. Diocesan assessment and payroll, administration, building expenses, departments and committees, evangelism and outreach, and ministry expense. Now, In 2025, you can see our actual expenses were $197,100. Now I'll go back and give you the corresponding number on the revenue side, $186,000. We had an operating deficit last year of $11,000. The 5-year strategic plan predicted that we would have an operating deficit of $20,000. So we did better than the strategic plan indicated that we would. For this year, the expenses are projected to be $249,000. We can live within that number. That number is on the high side of what I expect our actual expenses will be December 31st, 2026. The budgeted revenue for this year, which is also a number I have tremendous confidence in, we will hit the revenue number, $240,000. So we are projecting a deficit in 2026 of $9,000. The 5-year strategic plan projected that we would have a deficit of $25,000. We are doing well in the implementation of our strategic plan. And lastly, the confidence is we have got the financial resources to see this through all 5 years and beyond. Our task, and it's been spoken by other people before, our task is to go out and bring new people to join us. And what I find to be every Sunday an exciting adventure. I enjoy being with you. Thank you.
So I think this is just to point out the action plan. So what the strategic plan kind of focuses on. Parish health and growth. Nurture existing members with expanded outreach involvement, healing conference, renewed worship services, utilize the church fuel. Right. So then open communication. Communications are is what Meg has been working on. Actively promote the chapel news, solicit parish feedback. Again, one of the most important things about Meg's work on communication is to let other people know what we're doing. Right? Let ourselves, it's good to be aware. Of course, we have to be aware ourselves, but we also need to make sure that those on the outside, those 10,000 people that Meg has contacted, know what's going on. What's going on here, because a lot of them would be interested in being involved. So. That's that aspect. And the financial health, as Bob has just pointed out, to grow the number of pledging members. I mean, always churches are needing to do. Our ideas of doing are bigger than our ideas of revenue, right? Because we're an outreach-minded people. We're a healing-minded people. We're people that are looking to help others. And so, Bob has done a good job, and leadership has done a good job in holding us back from doing things that we can't afford. We have to be able to do things that are affordable. And then finally to St. Andrew's School, the relationship with St. Andrew's School, which I think again Bob has been very helpful with in our connections with the school, with Father Ben, who's the head chaplain, has improved. So those are always things that are just obvious to us, right? Here we are in the midst of the school campus, and so reestablishing that solid relationship is very, very important. So those are the things that we're looking forward to doing. So now is the time for you to talk. We've been talking. Now is the time for any questions you may have, or any comments or any feedback. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Would you tell me?
My name is Shaneely. Everyone calls me Shauna.
Okay, Shauna.
I sort of have a feedback piece for the baby boomers. I work for Social Security.
Okay.
And while I can't speak on their behalf, I'm the local union president, so I represent individuals from Melbourne to Key West, all the Social Security employees. One of the things that I've noticed going around, like we do our rallies and we go to different meetings, a lot of the elderly, like anyone that's on Social Security, they always have a bunch of questions. When you do have your Wednesday event, probably one Wednesday out of probably 3 or 4 times, or probably 3 times for the year, you probably could put it out there where you have a discussion about Social Security benefits. Because they do want to know how much they're getting, what is the raise like. I work there, so I know we get these questions all the time. And I think it could be something we could do to get more people to come to the conference, because it's like on a Wednesday or to your Wednesday bingos.
Yes.
And you could have a speaker. And if something you're interested in, you can let me know, and I'll let the area director know, because they do have a PR department that they probably could have someone come out and help you guys.
That's great.
So that's just another idea.
Thank you.
Another observation, I went to an all-girls boarding Baptist school in Jamaica, and we were tapped into different churches. So on different Sundays, we would go to probably the Baptist, the Methodist, the Episcopal, different churches. But you always had where the school had a good relationship with the church, where you had students who, if you're not a part of a congregation or denomination, there's a church group where they would visit different churches. I don't know how this school is set up. It's similar to mine. I think that's what drew me here too. Apart from the wedding minister, Miss Nancy, is the fact that you have a similar setup to my high school, because I went to an all-girls Christian boarding school. But we went to the church, so there was a church group, and we would definitely go to the Baptist church or the Anglican church. So probably there are students here who probably could benefit from that. They just need to know that they could just come to the church. You could tap into that, and then there's another group of visitors you have to the church. That's all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Those are very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to thank Bob and Will for getting us involved in the Holy Grill. I remember years ago when we hired Father Charles, he was saying how we needed to increase our visibility by being out in the community. This, to me, is the most consistent out in the community that we have been. As you know, the family promises a lot of outreach, but it's not that visible. But this, we're walking around, and I love the T-shirts. I want to thank Will for that too. We have the T-shirts, and we walk around, and we have this visible presence now. And if and when we find more things where we can be helping in the community and wearing our T-shirts, I wish that the veterinarian was here today, Laszlo, because he advertised and supported and sponsored the blessing of the animals. And we got a little bit of a late start on that, but I think that's another way that we show people in the community how much we love them, their family, and their pets,
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and I forgot to say this, but Feed the Hungry, there will be a volunteer. You'll be able to have a chance to volunteer in the community for Feed the Hungry as well. Marilee and I have been working on something in April. In partnering with Bethesda by the Sea, which is another one of our churches in the diocese. So look for that to sign up, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that too, that Cheryl and I got up there and spoke about outreach. We have a third member of the outreach committee, Mary Lee, who has reinvented outreach at the church.
She really
For
has.
that.
Anybody else? I just know you're all in awe.
There are some other opportunities here in the community. I fell across one as I was looking for something the other day, but at FAU, there is a food packing, and it's taking place, I think, this weekend, or a time when we couldn't necessarily do it that easily. But if you guys are open to that kind of thing, we can watch for opportunities for groups to work at various places. The one that Cheryl mentioned is supporting Feed the Hungry. There's also the Palm Beach County Food Bank, where you can bring a group of people and work a Saturday morning, and if they get a railroad car of corn in and they want to bag it all up in little bags. The team works together to make those things happen. And again, it's a great opportunity to get visibility, especially when there are multiple community groups working together. So, are you guys interested in that kind of thing? Well, nobody's saying no, so that's Yay.
So, I'm sure knowing the people here, there'll be a lot of interest. Yes. One of the things I think I forgot to mention, the last little piece that I did was for Anna Morgan. Anna was up with her, taking care of her, babysitting her grandchildren last week in Atlanta, and they got sick, and apparently she got sick on the way, when she got back. So she called late last night, early this morning, saying that she didn't want to bring anything. Obviously she caught it from them. She didn't want to pass it on to us. So we're all grateful for Anna. Yep. And so we give thanks for the work, because again, being a senior warden in a lively group, right, is not an easy task, right? And Anna has done a great job. And so we give thanks for her and her ministry as a senior warden.
You're here for Anna.
Yep. So I think we have one more task, right? And that's the Spirit of the Parish Award. Now, every year we give, actually the last couple of years we've given 2. And this year, lo and behold, we're going to give 2 again. Right? The Spirit of the Parish Award is people that have really done a stellar job at ministry and whatnot over the course of the year. And it's hard to pick out 2 people, right? It's very, very difficult, because there's a lot of leadership here, right? A lot of leadership. So it's always hard to decide on which ones. So this year we have 2, and the first one, Marilee Pope. So we have established a beautiful plaque of Spirit of the Parish Award, and unfortunately it got snowed in. So we have this piece of paper here representing that plaque, and we give you thanks for. So those of you that are not totally familiar with Marilee, the Spirit of the Parish recipient is one of our newest members who has joined the chapel community and had tremendous impact. You certainly have had it. Her passion for outreach and developing new ministries has been behind many of the new 2025 programs. St. Matthew's Relationship, Feeding Ministries, and of course the Boomer Luncheons. Marilee has truly exhibited the Spirit of the Parish this past year, and we can't thank her enough for her enthusiasm and creative thinking. Marilee, we look forward to all that you're going to do in 2026. The second Spirit of the Parish Award is for Faye, and so we give thanks. We wish Faye was here with us today, but we give thanks for Faye and all that she does for us pastorally, emotionally, spiritually, and we give thanks for her. I'll read what Anna Morgan wrote this. The Spirit of the Parish recipient, Faye, has faithfully serving the chapel for 30 plus years. Her devotion is unparalleled, and she is truly beloved by all. Deacon Faye Summers epitomizes everything this award stands for. In 2025, Deacon Faye was on the strategic planning leadership team and drove the work to assess our worship services, and with a very special focus on ensuring our annual Christmas service was welcoming and inclusive of all ages. Deacon Faye's dedication to pastoral care is legendary. Her visits and presence have nurtured many, many past and current members. Deacon Faye's calm spiritual presence on the altar every Sunday is a gift beyond measure. And I attest to that. Deacon Faye, our deepest gratitude for all that you do for the chapel. Amen. So again, we apologize for the delay in the actual plaque, merely. but, the snow will let up in Charlotte, wherever, and they'll be here the next week. But-
Yeah, next Sunday at the announcements.
Okay, next
And
Sunday.
Meg will get pictures.
Okay, great. So, who wants to pray?
I do.
Go ahead,
Oh,
go ahead, Nancy.
I thought you
Never
were
raised her
saying- Okay, I'll take it away. The Lord be with you.
And also
with you.
Good and gracious God, our hearts are full today because we are gathered with people that we love and hold dear. We thank you for the gift of Father Tom. He has lifted us up and given us so much to look forward to. We thank you for the leadership of all of the people that spoke today, their input, and their drive to make these ministries impactful does not go without notice. Thank you so much for the wonderful food and all those people who brought it. Thank you for Meg for doing the pork. Thank each and every one of you for being a blessed member of the Chapel of St. Andrew. In Christ's precious name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, Nancy. Excellent.
I'm off to seminary.
No, we will object because we wouldn't want to lose you.
So I won't get sponsored from the chapel. That's the cold air, for sure.
I came in and the pork. I said my mom's I was looking over there like, what's